Hello friends, how are you? In this video, we'll discuss about a different fuzzy membership function. So already you know this particular format. So a is equal to x comma mu ax and x belongs to capital X. So a is a fuzzy set. Okay, x is a generic variable. Mu ax is a fuzzy membership function of x inside this particular fuzzy set A. Okay, and that value of membership value, that particular value should be in between 0 to 1. Now there are two types, continuous membership function and discrete membership function. So we will see different continuous membership function first. So continuous membership function, so if x is continuous, then a is equal to s, it is not integration, mu ax by x. So we can represent like this way. So the first continuous membership function is triangular membership function. So let a, b, c represent the x coordinate of the three vertices of mu ax in a fuzzy set A, where a is a lower boundary. So we can see this one, c is a upper boundary where membership degree is 0, and b is a center where membership degree is 1. So we can say this is what our triangular membership function. So here a, b, c, these are what represent the x coordinate of the three vertices. So here it is nothing but our membership value 0 to 1. So here you can say a is a lower boundary, and c is the upper boundary where membership degree is 0. In that case, membership value is what? It is 0. And here b is the center where membership degree is 1. Here the degree is 1. So we use this particular in that case. So that means what? The value of c is what? It is greater than b, greater than b, b is greater than a. So easily we can get the membership value of any discrete value. Okay, if any value, if it is somewhere here, say this is what our x1, or if it is somewhere here, or if it is somewhere here, easily we can calculate. So how we can get? So we can use this particular formula. So if the value of x1 is less than equal to a, means what? Somewhere here, then the membership value would be what? 0. Definitely if the value is more than c, if the value of x, that is say x1 is more than c, it is somewhere here, definitely in that case it should be c. Now if it is the value is in between a to b, so if it is a to b, we have to apply the formula x minus a divided by b minus a. So x is what? This is nothing but this one, x1, and a, b, c, these are already given. Similarly, if the value is in between b to c, if it is in between b to c, so if the value of x1 is somewhere here, in that case the membership value, how to get the membership value? So we can get membership value with this, using this particular formula. It is c minus x divided by c minus b. Okay, so if the value is in between a to b, it is somewhere here, the associated membership value should be what? The associated membership value should be x minus a divided by b minus a. Similarly, if it is x1 is somewhere here, then associated membership value should be c minus x by c minus b. Okay, and if it is less than a and more than c, the value should be 0. So we may use the whole thing in a single line. So we can write like this way: max mean x minus a by b minus a comma c minus x by c minus b within bracket comma 0. Okay, so in this way, if the fuzzy set is triangular, for any Cripps value, we can get the membership value of the Cripps value. Next is trapezoidal membership function. Means if the membership function is like that. So let a, b, c, d represent the x coordinate of the membership function. A, b, c, d is a x coordinate of membership functions. So if any Cripps value x1 is somewhere here, then we need to calculate what should be the membership value. Or if it is somewhere here, then what should be the membership value? Or if it is somewhere here, then what should be the membership value? So we can use this particular formula. So if the value of x1 is less than a, means somewhere here, and greater than d, somewhere here, in both the case it should be 0. Are you getting? So definitely if the value of x1 is somewhere here, the membership value of x1 is inside this particular fuzzy set A should be 0. Similarly, membership value of x1, if the value of x1 is more than d, then the value of membership degree or the membership value of x1 inside this fuzzy set A should be what? 0. If the value of x is in between a to b, if it is inside the a to b, it should be what? X minus a by b minus a. Similarly, if the value of x1 is in between b to c, always it is 1. The membership value is what? It is 1. Similarly, if the value of x1 is in between c to d, then what should be the membership degree? Membership value, it is d minus x by d minus c. Okay, so we can accommodate all this formula and we can write like a in this format: max mean x minus a by b minus a, comma 1, comma d minus x by d minus a. So we have to identify the minimum, and then from these two values you have to identify the maximum. Okay, so we can see simple example. So if it is the case, say if it is 1 and if it is looks like that, okay, say it is 2, 4, okay, 8 and say 10. So what is this? Is A, B, C and D. If the value of x1 is equal to say 3, somewhere here 3, okay, so what should be the membership value? So we can calculate. So it is what? In between A to B. That means we have to apply this particular formula. So what is x1? So 3 minus A, that is 2, divided by B minus A. So 4 minus 2. So 3 minus 2 is what? 3 minus 2 is what? 1. And it is 2. That means what? What should be the membership value? So mu A x1 should be what? It is 0.5. So it is somewhere here. It is 0.5. Are you getting? Similarly, if x2 is equal to say 5 or 6 or say 7, so what will be the fuzzy value? So it should be what? So here you can apply. So it is what? 7 is what? In between B to C, definitely it should be what? Membership value should be what? It is 1. Are you getting this one? Similarly, you can see if x3 is equal to say somewhere here, say C is equal to here, C is equal to 8 and it is 8.5 or it is say 9. So if it is a 9, then what should be the membership value? So it should be what? So we can say it is d minus x. What is d? D is 10. So 10 minus 9 divided by d minus c. D minus c is what? 10 minus 8. So it is 0.5. Are you getting? Or we may have directly, we may use this particular formula. Suppose x4, if x4 is equal to say, just take 5. Then if you use this particular formula, then what will happen? So we can say 5, x4 is 5. So that means what? 5 minus a. A means what? It is 2 by b minus a. That is 4 minus 2, comma 1, comma d minus x. What is d here? D is equal to 10. So 10 comma 5 divided by d minus c. So 10 minus 8. Okay. So we have to take the minimum of, so 5 minus 2 is what it is. So 5 b minus x minus a. So it is 5 minus e. It is what? 2 by b minus a. 4 by 4 minus 2. And here it is 1 d minus x. What is d? D is what? It is 10. 10 minus x. That is 5 by d minus c. That is 10 minus 8. So if you solve it, so 5 minus 2 it is 3. And 4 minus 2 it should be 2. So it is 3 by 2, 1. 10 minus 5 it is 5. And 10 minus 8 it is 2. So 3 by 2, comma 1, comma 5 by 2. So what should be the minimum value? So definitely minimum value should be what? It is 1. Okay, so 3 by 2, the value should be 1 point something. It is 1. 5 by 2 means what? It should be 2 point something. So definitely the minimum value is what? It is 1. So what should be the max? So now we have to apply the maximum in between 0 and 1. So the maximum value is what? So that means after that we have to apply maximum in between 1 and 0. So from that we can get the 1 and 0. So definitely maximum is what? It is 1. So what is the membership value if x4 is 5? So we can definitely we have to apply. So x4 is equal to what? It is 1. Or directly you can use this one. Okay. So if you use program, then this particular formula is very useful to implement the technique. Next is what? Gaussian membership function. So Gaussian membership function. So this is what our membership function, characteristic of the membership function. So this is nothing but our x. So here mu a x c s m. So x is a value, m is a fudgification factor, c is the center or mean, and s is the width. So to get the calculation, to get the membership value, we can use this particular formula, e to the power minus 1 by 2 x minus c to the power m by s to the power m. So Gaussian, if it is a Gaussian, so simple Gaussian, we may use m is equal to 2. Okay, so it's a standard one. And so if you want to say c is equal to, for example, say 4 or say 10, and the width, say it is say 2 or 3. Okay, so that means what? C is equal to 3, sorry, c is equal to 10 and s is equal to 3, and the value of x, so value of x, say it is 12. So what should be the membership value of this 12? So we have to apply this particular formula, and say fudgification factor is 2. So the membership value of x1 should be e to the power minus 1 by 2. Okay, x is what? It is 12. So 12 minus c. C is what? It is 10. The square divided by s to the power m. What is s? 3. So you can write 3 square. So if you solve it, you can get its membership value. So please write the in the comment box, you may write the membership value of this particular quotient membership function. Next is generalized Bell membership function. So the shape is somewhere like that. So we can see here a Bell x semicolon ABC, a width of the membership value. So through a we can control the width of the membership value, b we control the slope of the membership value, and c is the center. Okay, so the formula is 1 by 1 plus mod x minus c by a to the power 2b. Okay, so we can see a very simple example. Suppose one generalized Bell shape is there. Okay, are you getting? So suppose c is there, say c is 10. Okay, and a slope is also there. Slope is something b by 2a. Suppose say 2 by say 2 comma 1. Okay, say or 2 comma 1. So a is also say 2. So that means what? 1 by 2, that is what? 0.5. So that means what? C is equal to 10, b is equal to 2, and a is equal to 2. Okay, so if any value is there, say x is equal to, say x1 is equal to, say 8. So what should be the membership value? So we have to apply this particular formula. So the membership value of x1 will be what? We have to apply 1 by 1 plus mod x minus x is what? 8. 8 minus c. What is c? C is 10 by a. What is a? A is 2 by 2 to the power b. 2 into 2. Okay, so you can solve it, and if you solve it, you can get the membership value of x1. So you may solve it, and you may write in the comment section what is the membership value for x1 if x1 is 8 for the generalized Bell-shaped membership function. Okay, so we can see different set if keeping b and c. So we can see 3 parameters are there, a, b, c. Okay, now here if you keeping b and c fixed, and if you change the a, the shape will be like that. So this is one shape, this is another one, and this is another one. So a1, a2, a3, for different a1, a2, a3 you can get different shape. Similarly, keeping a and c fixed, so if you keeping, so this is what kept. If it's for b, it is for b3, it is for b2, and this one is for b1. Similarly, keeping a and b fixed, if you change c, so it changes the c center only. This is for c1, this is what? c2, this is what? c3. Are you getting? Next is sigmoid membership function. So the sigmoid membership function, already know how to represent this one. So you can say this is sigmoid membership function. So mu x, this is a 0 to 1, and it is x. So sigmoid membership function x a comma c. So a and c are the parameters. So 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus a into x minus c. Okay, so here is a sigmoid membership function is inherently open right or left. Hence, it is appropriate for representing concept such as a very large or very low. See, sigmoid function will be what? It is a inherently it is open right, okay, or it is open left. Okay, now generally membership function will be what? It should be like that. Say it is say open right, then it is say generalized bell shaped, okay, and then open right. So this is what open left, this is open right. So for this, say you can write say low, okay, medium, high. Say high may be this way, and then it is a very high. So for very high, generally we may use sigmoid membership function, and for very low we may use the sigmoid membership function. Are you getting this one? So that definitely, if you have the a value and c value for different x value, we can identify the membership value. Okay, next is what? It is left right membership function. So the shape of the left right membership function is like that. Okay, so see, this is nothing but c. Okay, now through alpha we control the left side of this particular shape, and through beta we control the right side of this particular shape. So LR is what? Left right x is a membership. We can identify membership value of x. Three parameters are there: c, alpha, and beta. LR x semicolon c alpha beta. So c, alpha, beta, these are the parameters, and for different x value we can get the membership value. So FL is what? Left membership function. So we may apply c minus x by alpha if the value of x is less than c. So if it is somewhere here, then we have to apply this particular formula. But if the value of x is somewhere here, say if it is more than c, then we have to apply this particular formula. So both are monotonically decreasing function defined as in between 0 to alpha. Now we can see the parameter c where the membership value is 1. So in this case, center, when it is its membership value is what? It is 1. Alpha control the width of the left margin, left region, definitely. B control the width of the right region, definitely. And for example, we may use FL and FR like this way. So we may implement FLX square root of max in between 0, 1 minus x square. So we use this particular formula to represent the left part, and to represent the right part we can represent this one e to the power minus x to the power q. Okay, so in this way we can get left right membership function, where according to our requirement we can we can modify the left part and the right part. Next is pie-shaped membership function. There are two pie-shaped membership functions. The first pie-shaped membership function is defined with two parameters a and b. The function has a membership values 1 at point A, membership value 0.5 at a minus b and a plus b respectively. Now pi function decreases towards 0 asymptotically as we move away from the points A. So we can see here, so there are two ways we can represent the pi membership function. So pi 1, this is the first way, x, a comma b, two parameters are there, a and b. The formula is what? 1 by 1 plus x minus a by b whole square. So the another one, pi 2, x comma lw, lp, rp and rw. So if the value of x is less than lp, then we can apply this particular formula, lw by lp plus lw minus x. If the value of x is in between lp and rp, it should be always 1. And if the value of x is greater than rp, then the formula is what? Rw divided by x minus rp plus rw. Okay, now parameters lw and rw define the left of the membership function. LP and RP define its shoulder. Next is what? Open right membership function. So this is what? Open right. Okay, so open right, it is open. So the open right means what? If you move towards infinite, positive infinite, then the membership value is what? It is 1. Okay, so or if you move towards minus infinite, the membership value is what? Should be what? It is 0. So if you move towards left infinite, always it is 0, and if you move towards right side, positive infinite, it is what? It is 1. So how to get the membership value of that? So here x alpha comma beta. So alpha is what? When it is 0, when it touches the x-axis, and beta is what? When it touches the 1, when the membership value is 1. So if the value of x is less than alpha, it is somewhere here, then definitely it is 0. If it is more than beta, so if it is somewhere here, if the value of x1 is what? More than beta, then definitely it is 1. Okay. And if it is in between alpha to beta, then the value is what? Membership value is what? X minus alpha by beta minus alpha. That means it is somewhere here. So we can see one simple example. Say alpha is equal to say 10 and beta is equal to say 14. Okay. So what should be the membership value if x1 is equal to say 11? So 11 is what? In between alpha to beta. So we have to apply this particular formula. So the membership value of x1 for the set A should be what? B minus alpha. So x minus alpha, x is what? 11 minus alpha is what? It is 10 divided by 14 minus 10. 14 minus 10. So it is what? 1 by 4. That is what? 0.25. So if the value of the Cripps value is 11, associated membership value should be what? So this is what our A set, and this is what our membership value. So associated value should be what? It is 0.25. Similarly, it is a open left, right. So alpha when it touches, when the membership value is 1, okay, and beta when it is 0. So in that case, we have to apply this particular formula. So if x1 is somewhere less than alpha, definitely it is 1, and if x1 is more than beta, definitely it is 0. Okay, so it should be here, you can write 0 here. Okay, if x is greater than 0, it should be 0 here, and if the value of x1 is in between alpha to beta, we have to apply this particular formula. So beta minus x divided by beta minus alpha. So we can take one example. Say alpha is equal to say 10 and beta is equal to say 14. Okay, if x1 is 11, then what is the value? Suppose somewhere here. So what is the value? So, x1 is the value of x is in between alpha to beta. So we have to apply this particular formula. So the membership value of x1 will be what? Beta minus x. So what is beta? 14 divided by beta minus alpha. So 14 minus 10. So it is what? 3 by 4. Okay, so it should what? 0.75. So it is somewhere here. It is 0.75. So in this way, you can identify the membership value of any discrete value if you apply this particular formula. Next is what? S-shaped. So if it is S-shaped, S-like, then so we can say A is a parameter when it touches the 0, B is a parameter when it touches the 1. So we can apply this particular formula. So what we can do, we can identify the middle point. So say A plus B by 2, a point. Okay, if the value of x1, if the value of x is less than A, definitely should be 0. If the value of x1 is greater than A but is more than that, so here it is what? It is 1. Then definitely it is 1. Okay, and if the so middle point is A plus B by 2, it's a middle point. So if the value of x is in between A to A plus B by 2, we have to apply this particular formula, 2 into x minus A by B minus A whole square. And if the value of x is in between these 2 points, so this is what? Our middle point, then we have to apply this particular formula, 1 minus 2 into x minus B by B minus C whole square. Okay, so easily you can solve it. So suppose A is equal to say 10 and A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 14. So what is the middle point? So 10 plus 14, so we can write middle point. Middle point is what? 10 plus 14 divided by 2. It is 24 by 2. So it is somewhere 12. So 12 will be here this one. Okay, so if the value of x1 is equal to 11, then what should be the associated membership value? So 11 is what? In between in between 10 and 12, so we have to apply this particular formula. So the membership value should be what? Membership value should be 2 into x minus, so 11 minus a. What is a? It is 10 divided by b minus a. So b is what? It is, say, 14 minus 10 and whole square. So 2 into 1 by it is what? 4 square. So 4 square, 4 into 4. Okay, so we can, so 1 by 8. So 1 by 8 is what? 0.125. So this is what? Membership value of this x1 11. Next, open left triangular. So open left triangular will be what? Somewhere like that. So in this case, a is equal to b is equal to 0, and c is a sorry, if a is equal to b is equal to, in this case the membership value is what? Okay, so here a, b, c, a and b value should be 0, but at that time membership value is 1, and c is a value which is not 0, but the membership value in c should be the 0. Okay, so to get the membership value, we can apply this particular formula. So max mean, so it is nothing but our triangular formula. So max mean x minus a by b minus a, comma c minus x by c minus b 0. Okay, so we can easily implement it. Similarly, open left trapezoidal. So it is what? Open left trapezoidal. In that case, we may apply the same formula as trapezoidal. So if in that case a, b should be 0, at that time the membership value should be what? It is 1. But when c and d both are not 0, we use c when the membership value is 1, and at that time d, the membership value should be what? 0. Okay, so this is what? Open left trapezoidal. Similarly, we can identify the open right triangular. We can write open right triangular. In that case, a and b should be there. B, c. When it is a, it should be what? It should be the 0. Membership value should be 0. And here b is equal to c. In that case, the membership value should be what? 1. Similarly, if it is a open right trapezoidal, so if it is like that, open right trapezoidal, we can write E, and here it is a B, and C and D. So in both the case, C and D both should be the same, and at that time the membership value should be what? 1. B here should be 1, and here it should be 0. Okay, so when it is open left, A is equal to B. Okay, and if it is open right, C is equal to D. And if it is in the triangular, when it is open left, it should be A equal to B, and when it is a open right triangular, then B is equal to C. So we can take one simple example. Suppose here few fuzzy sets are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fuzzy sets are there. So say this is what our open left trapezoid, this is what our open right trapezoid, and remaining are the triangular trapezoid. Suppose one Cripps value, speed difference 80 is there. We want to know associated membership value. How to know this one? So you can see here the NM is what? It is in between 30 to 60. NS is in between 60 to 120. Z is what? 90 to 150 and so on. SD is what? Somewhere here. That means we have to consider only NM and NS. So we can see NM and NS. So if you consider NS first, so 60 is the A, 90 is what? B, and 120 is what? Our C. So A is equal to 60, B is equal to 90, C is equal to 120, and already you know the formula of the triangular membership function. So if the value of x is 80, so if the value of, so x minus a, 80 minus 60 is A is what? 60 by B minus A, that is 90 minus 60, comma C minus x, 120 minus 80 by 120 minus B, so 120 minus 90. So 80 minus 60 by 90 minus is what? It is 0.67, and 120 minus 80 by 120 minus 90 is what? It is 1.33. So this is nothing but a 0.67. This is 1.3. The minimum is what? 0.67 is the minimum. In between that, and the maximum in between 0.67 and 0 is what? It is 0.67. So if x is somewhere here, then associated membership value should be what? If it should be somewhere here, it is 0.67. Are you getting? Now we can say definitely we have to consider the nm also. So here in nm, a is equal to 30, b is equal to 60, and c is equal to 90. So we have to apply this particular formula. So but x's value is what? It is 80. So if you apply the formula, max mean x minus a by b minus a comma c minus x by c minus b comma 0, x is what? 80, a is 30, b is equal to 60, a is 30, 90 minus 80 by 90 minus 60. So it is what? 50 by 30, it is 10 by 30. So 50 by 30 is 1.67, it is 10 by 30 is what? 0.33. The minimum is what? 0.33 is the minimum. So in between 0.33 is 0, the maximum value is what? 0.33. So if it is 80, the associated membership value should be what? It is 0.33. So by using the formula for the different continuous membership function, we can get the membership value for any discrete value. So last but not the least, we may represent the discrete membership function like this way. So A is a fuzzy set, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, these are what? The membership generic variables. So x are where xi belongs to capital X. Capital X is nothing but the universe of this course, and these are what? Associated membership value which are given. So the membership value of x1 is what? 0.2, membership value of x2 is what? 0.6, and so on. And that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.